Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence with Just Ask. Today's show is the Natural Healing Institute. Hurry back and join us. Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence with Just Ask. Today's show is the Natural Healing Institute, and we have with us the co-founder and owner herself, Dr. Khephera Jasal. Good morning, Dr. Khephera Jasal. How are you?
Good morning. Wonderful. Thank you.
Good. Now, I know that name is a long, nice, and beautiful name, but you like to be known as Dr. K.
Dr. K.
Okay. Dr. K, we'll start with that.
All right.
Now, Dr. K, this is a very unique show for us today. In reference to, we're all starting to be more health conscious and want to take better care of ourselves. Tell us a little bit about the Natural Healing Institute and your background.
Well, the Natural Healing Institute was born out of our need, our passion to assist the community in health and learning about nutrition and proper body maintenance. I have a doctorate in natural health science. I also have a doctorate in divinity. I am a massage therapist. I do Reiki, colon cleansing, painless childbirth. I'm a hypnotherapist. And out of hypnotherapy, I developed a television program where I do relaxation, meditation, and painless childbirth.
Okay, all right. So the Institute itself has an array and assortment of services that you guys provide.
Yes, many services
Okay.
that support the body, the mind, and the spirit.
Okay. Now, you know, in the natural sense, a lot of people are trying to get back to what they call natural healing or natural health care. Mm-hmm. What is your ideal of starting off as a person getting into it?
Okay, well, the first thing is to educate yourself. Get as much information as you can so that you know that you know that you know. And there are ways that I illustrate how the body has its own wisdom. Every person is a unique individual. So a person's biography becomes their biology. So every person that comes to us gets one-on-one care, and we actually go over their history and find out what their particular goals are. So everybody's goals are different. But we go back to the way that we originally ate and the sleeping patterns, taking a more stressless time during the day, taking pauses during the day, and going back to drinking water, eating whole foods, because there's too much processed food that people are ingesting. And what I say is that processed food produces processed people. So a lot of the behavior that children are exhibiting, a lot of the stress, a lot of the dis-ease, if you will, is directly related to people eating chemicalized cuisine, them eating more of man's food than God's food. So what we do is we take it back to nature. So that's where we started, and that's where we're going to have to get back to.
And you know what, with Mrs. Obama going into the actual process of helping people see that is taking place in the White House is beautiful. I mean, you know, she had a garden in the house, and actually they ate from the garden. That was, to me, was one of the very unique and first signs of the First Lady taking charge of what other First Ladies didn't even think about, which is better health care in a sense of showing people we do it here still to help you get started out in the real world.
Right, yes, because we're going to have to start taking control of our health. We have given our health over to other people, and we've got to be responsible for how we eat, how we drink, what we drink, and how we think.
I know, you know, we didn't want to call any names out when we say processed food, but I noticed that a lot of the younger generation parenting, especially the moms, will buy the children French fries and a hamburger from a fast food immediately to control the irate, behavior in the car and stuff. Well, we know I got to give them something to eat. Instead of making something at home and carrying it in the car or preparing meals at home, period. Is it that we've gotten away from home ec classes in school, as well as these generation of parenting are not prepared to cook or don't know how?
Well, that's part of what I incorporate in the practice, is that I teach people who don't know how to cook how to cook. And what has happened is that, this is a fast food society and a microwave mentality, and everybody wants things really quick. And what I teach people is how you can prepare healthy meals, and it doesn't really have to take that long, because in cooking food, if you cook it too long, it loses all its nutrients anyway. But you mentioned about French fries. They don't even have French fries on the list or the menu anymore. It just says fries. And that's because the majority of them are not real potatoes. And most people know that, or if they think about it, if you drop a fry in the car, it can stay there for 6 months and never change. And there are movies that we suggest that people see so that they can see that the fry is just one molecule away from plastic.
Wow.
So it never breaks down.
Well, after that note, a lot of people will may think about eating the French fries, just fries.
Right.
Okay, so a lot of the processed food that, even with the word processed, have some type of chemical in it that makes it last longer than the norm if it was not a chemically processed food item.
Right, because
Okay.
I can remember jelly getting moldy in the refrigerator. Now, bread doesn't mold, milk doesn't spoil, the jelly can stay in there for 2 or 3 years, and it's the preservatives that they're using that keeps it stable and it has a longer shelf life. But in the meantime, it's detrimental to people's health.
Okay. Well, on that note, we're going to go to a break, and we're going to come back with some more helpful food tips, as well as some things that you guys need to see if you're planning on, taking control this year and making sure that you're in better health. We'll be right back. We're here with the Natural Healing Institute with Dr. Khephera Jasal, better known as Dr. K, okay? Because that's a beautiful name, it's just long. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this. A lot of you are more natural healing people at home. Instead of going to the doctor, instead of going to the dentist and places like that, you want to know, what can you do at home? Well, we're going to touch on some things that you can do for yourself, but I didn't say don't go to the doctor. I didn't say that. I still believe that there's a combination of balance between going to a physician and double checking yourself out or securing your thoughts of what you're doing, as well as doing more natural things to also eliminate waste, make yourself feel better, cut down on the headaches, and also it helps your appearance. It changes you a lot when you start to take better care of yourself. So we're going to ask Dr. K for some more tips on what you can do at home to start to prepare yourself for a better you, okay? All right, so Dr. K, a lot of people are at home, and they may be homebound, or they may just say, you know what, I have a fear of going to the man or the woman in the white coat, okay? What are some of the things that are in the more natural healing component that people can do or start with?
Okay, well, there are some tips that I can give your audience. Number 1 is to set your goals. Number 2, enroll somebody in that conversation. So don't just set goals. Make sure that you tell someone that will hold you accountable for the goals that you've set. The major component, most people are chronically dehydrated. So make sure that you're drinking plenty of purified water. And the reason why I said purified or filtered water is either you drink purified or filtered water, or you become a filter for the water that you're drinking. So a lot of the water that's coming through now has a lot of chlorine. That's why it's bleaching out the clothes. And so we want to make sure we drink plenty of purified water. Another tip is to exercise. Now, you don't have to have a membership to a gym. Even if you walk up and down the stairs, or you walk around the block, or you go to the mall and you walk, walking is the best exercise. So that's something that you don't have to have out-of-pocket expense. Consuming more whole foods. Once you go into the store and you go to the produce section, that's where the real food is. And then when you go out of the produce section and you go up the other aisles where there's a lot of cans and bags and boxes, that's processed. Okay. So you want to concentrate what you're eating on whole foods and then put the other foods around it.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be organic?
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be organic. It should be local if possible. Organic is better simply because they cannot use pesticides and sprays. A lot of the food now is cosmetically appealing. Okay, I can remember growing up that, you know, apples were misshapen and, you know, the cucumbers were misshapen. Now they all look alike, and a lot of them are genetically modified. So I don't need my food to look good and, you know, posing on the shelf. But we need to get as much organic food as possible. As a matter of fact, what I would suggest is that people purchase organic and then purchase the other conventional food and then see how their body responds, because your body will let you know how it tastes, what it feels like inside of your body, and then you can make the determining factor.
Well, you know, organic, I have tried organic myself on several occasions, and it's really expensive, and I know at some point, you know, when it's about you, there is no high price to pay. So a lot of people just can't afford it, though. I mean, you know, we have a economy that's going through a crunch. So I'm asking, for the event that someone can't afford the organic groceries because they do know it's better for them, would just the natural homegrown or vegetable and produce department serve the same purpose? That
would be great. And the thing about it is that I notice is that when you eat organic, you eat less. So people are looking at the price, but I have an article that I had written called Designer Clothes and Bootleg Food. We've got to set our priorities because we'll purchase $100 gym shoes and then look for a real cheap burger. You know, so we have to create a balance, but there are farmers markets where we can go, and then if you do a cooperative and buy bushels, and then there's ways that people can manage if they really want to manage.
All right. And then, you know, that's helpful, because a lot of people will say, oh, no, I can't afford that to eat. And you're right. If we are into designer wear, from the glasses to the shoes to the jeans to the gym shoes, I'm sure you could eat that same amount of money and enjoy it and last longer if you consume it right. Oh, okay, okay. I know you have a demonstration that you were talking about when we were off camera that you might want to do. So is it something that you want to give us an insight on?
Yes. It's called kinesiology or contact reflex analysis or muscle testing. So any three of those terms actually describes the process. And what I tell people is that your body has a wisdom. When you cut yourself, you don't have to tell your body to heal or to create a scab. So your body has a wisdom of its own. And when we tap into our own body's wisdom and work along with it, we create a balance. So what I do is show people what gives their body energy and what takes it away. So kinesiology will be an excellent demonstration so I can actually show your audience how it works.
Okay,